the 49ers had an interesting season this year, but it really all started in the offseason. It all started with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. When the 49ers decided that they were going to have these two guys kind of change the direction the 49ers were going with, they made some moves. John Lynch went out and got some free agents, and he made big moves in the draft. He got guys like Solomon Thomas and traded for Reuben Foster. Um, you know, you could see the direction that they wanted to go to acquiring, these two guys, help fix, the team. They needed some defense, and they got two guys that are probably going to be, big pieces to that. During the preseason, the Niners were all right. It's just preseason. You can't really base any team off preseason. But in the regular season, to start off, they had a lot of close losses. They were they were in a lot of games. They were close, but they would not win. They were like 3 points or less at times. A lot of close games. They just couldn't seem to win. During those close losses, you saw what made them, that 0-9 team to start off the season. There were a lot of drop passes. They couldn't really protect Brian Hoyer. They struggled. Um, so things had to change. Um, One thing they did to change the team, they released Navarro Bowman, which shocked me, and I know it shocked a lot of other 49er fans. But it was the direction the 49ers had to go to. Bowman felt like he did not fit in the new scheme. He was playing less and less. He wanted to be traded. He was released because they couldn't find anybody to trade with. He went to the Raiders, which made me very, very, that broke my heart, really. That's, why would you go play for the enemy? But it is what it is. He's not on the Niners anymore. But it sucks to see him get released. You know, but I think one of the biggest changes that happened during the season was Brian Hoyer getting benched. I myself wasn't very high on Brian Hoyer. When we signed him, I said I don't know how I feel about this signing. But they benched him. I don't think it was all his fault. I think the team around him struggled at times. There were drop passes. The offensive line, like I said, it would not protect him. But the Niners decided to go a different direction. They brought in the rookie out of Iowa, C.J. Beathard, and Beathard, did a pretty good job as, when he came in to be the 49ers quarterback for those couple of weeks that he was the 49ers quarterback. Did a good job. You still saw, the team kind of play the way they do with Hoyer, but something seemed to spark, something seemed to kind of change, and it all, they started playing a bit, I won't say better, but, yeah, somewhat better. But you still saw why they were, an 0-9 team. They eventually would, you know, break that little nine game skid they had there and beat the Giants. Um, you know, um, they would break it and beat the Giants. Finally, something was going right. Another thing that um, made a big difference, that a big move that John Lynch made. He went in and acquired Jimmy Garoppolo. No matter how it happened, with that whole crazy Patriot Belichick thing that's going on right now, the Niners acquired Jimmy Garoppolo, and that changed a lot. I mean, he wouldn't play right away. Obviously, he needed to learn the system. Beathard was doing a great job at quarterback anyway, so it's not like we needed him to step in right away. But when he did, the 49ers played great. I mean, he would step in. Beathard went down with an injury against the Seahawks. Um, Garoppolo played like not even a drive, just a couple of plays, and he threw a touchdown eventually. He threw a touchdown. He looked great. He would eventually take over for the rest of the season, and the 49ers would not lose another game after that loss to Seattle. They would not lose another game. Um, they played great. The 49ers played great. Robbie Gould, did a great job as the kicker. The team around Garoppolo, he literally elevated the team. That team you saw lose 9 straight, that was not the team that I saw when Garoppolo came in and stepped into play. Garoppolo changed the team around him, and it's fun to watch that guy play. That guy Jimmy G, my guy Jimmy G, he may turn this franchise around. So the 49ers go undefeated with Jimmy G at quarterback. So now let's talk about the future. The 49ers have some pending free agents: Eric Reed, Carlos Hyde, Jimmy Garoppolo, among others. Obviously, I think priority number one is to get Garoppolo to a long-term extension, which it's going to happen. There's no doubt about it. Um, I would like them to bring Carlos Hyde back. I would like them to bring Eric Reed back. If they don't, oh well. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't come back. But those are two guys I would like to have back. In the draft, I feel the Niners need to, and for agency, I feel like the Niners need to address wide receiver, offensive line, or not running back, secondary. So I think as long as they continue to build around this team, there's going to be a lot more season reviews where I'm talking about how great the Niners did and how great Jimmy G played and how great the 49ers did in general. And hopefully that happens. Hopefully they have a great offseason and it's just smooth sailing from here on out.